Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is also fantastic. And maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, a few days ago on this platform, I observed that Rigathi Gachagua, who is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, was actually boycotting William Ruto's events. For example, today William Ruto is in Kisumu, but Rigathi Gachagua is not with William Ruto. Previously, Rigathi Gachagua would have accompanied William Ruto. And I remember reminding you guys that it's just a matter of time before the fallout in Kenya Kwanza start emerging. And earlier today, Rigathi Gachagua also made some interesting tweets on his official Twitter handle. I want you guys to pay very close attention to the tweet and let me know what you think. This is what Rigathi Gachagua tweeted, that President William Ruto and I are joined at the hip. We talk on a daily basis. My relationship with the president is top-notch. He has mandated me with a great responsibility because he understands my output. We shall continue working for Kenyans until the end of our term. What do you think was the objective of this particular tweet? Why do you think Rigathi Gachagua had to justify to Kenyans that is joined with William Ruto at the hips, that they talk on a daily basis, that their relationship is top-notch, and that William Ruto has assigned him responsibility because he understands his output? Why would Rigathi Gachagua try to justify that? The truth is, there is a fallout in Kenya Kwanza. And because of that fallout, Rigathi Gachagua is now trying to reach out to Uhuru Kenyatta for dialogue. And I think Rigathi Gachagua was on, was it Inoro TV yesterday, where he addressed the issue of dialogue with Uhuru Kenyatta to unite the mountain. Let me just read for you a bit of what has been captured on the dailies, because in this video, I want to explain to you guys why Rigathi Gachagua is desperately looking for Uhuru Kenyatta for dialogue and for support, and why personally I strongly believe that Uhuru Kenyatta is not going to have any dialogue with Rigathi Gachagua. This is what one of the dailies is saying, that Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua on Friday revealed that he is pursuing retired President Uhuru Kenyatta for dialogue in a bid to unite Mount Kenya ahead of 2027 general election. So the question is, why would he pursue Uhuru Kenyatta to unite Mount Kenya? The same Rigathi Gachagua has always told us that the mountain is united. And of course, they delivered the mountain from Uhuru Kenyatta. Why would it then look for Uhuru Kenyatta to unite Mount Kenya? And it says, he said he has resolved to heal the community of the 2022 general election rivalry that saw Uhuru Kenyatta suffer defeat in the scramble for Mount Kenya political soul to Uhuru Kenyatta. To William Ruto. Of course, he's talking of trying to resolve the rivalry between him, Uhuru, and those who voted for Raila, those who voted for William Ruto. And he's quoted as saying, Mr. Kenyatta was fronting Mr. Raila for the presidency and he lost. We have now decided to embrace him as our respectable son and statesman despite everything. And he's adding that as Mount Kenya leaders, we have agreed not to be fighting him, and I'm planning to hold talks with him. I have ordered everyone to respect him, and he's also doing good to keep his peace. That Rigathi Gachagua is now telling Kenyans that as Mount Kenyans, they have agreed not to fight Uhuru Kenyatta, and that they have also agreed to respect, he has ordered everybody to respect him, and Uhuru Kenyatta is also not disturbing them. He's keeping his peace. The truth of the matter is that Uhuru Kenyatta has maintained his silence. And that silence is killing Rigathi Gachagua and his team. There is nothing as dangerous as silence. For example, if Raila Odinga had maintained his silence after the last election, I can guarantee you probably a revolution would have occurred in this country. Silence is a very powerful tool. Uhuru Kenyatta is exercising silence. And because of the silence, these guys really don't understand his next plan. In this video, I want us to look at why personally I think Uhuru Kenyatta is not going to accept any talks with Rigathi Gachagua, although I am a believer that in politics, to constant the interest and betrayal, and also why Rigathi Gachagua is seeking for the support of Uhuru Kenyatta. It's going to be a very interesting video. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. And before I do that, by the way, I want to thank the following people. You are seeing their names on the screen. There, I received their coffee after yesterday's call. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate because it goes a long way in supporting the channel. You can also do the same using the numbers you are seeing on your screen. Today is Friday, so today's Friday, so you can. Now, let us dive in and begin by looking at probably why Rigathi Gachagua is now seeking to have dialogue with Uhuru Kenyatta. Why do you think Rigathi Gachagua is trying to have dialogue with Uhuru Kenyatta? Number one, in my view, Rigathi Gachagua is currently being isolated in UDA and of course in Mount Kenya. And just like I said, it's just a matter of time. Rigathi Gachagua is going to be just Rigathi Gachagua. In UDA, the party was removed from him and handed over to a new person who was Malala Hassan Omar Barire. In Mount Kenya, the other day you heard how Moses Kuria spoke against him. In Parliament, you heard what Kimani Ichung'wah said. And of course, you also know that Rigathi Gachagua is not seeing eye to eye with Ndindi Nyoro unless in the presence of William Ruto. So Rigathi Gachagua is being isolated. And because of that, he's feeling the pinch. And the only solution is to try and hide behind this unity call with Uhuru Kenyatta. Number two, the truth is the threats which are being posed by Musalia Mudavadi is real. That there's the possibility that William Ruto might actually support Musalia Mudavadi instead of Rigathi Gachagua, either for 2027 running mate or for 2032. Because Rigathi Gachagua intends to succeed William Ruto in 2032. But from all indications, William Ruto is plotting with Mudavadi. So the only way to deal with Ruto on that is to try and unite Mount Kenya. Probably William Ruto now understands certain things about Mount Kenya because he's now the problem. I mean, he's now the president, which means he has intelligence report that the mountain is drifting away, or maybe Uhuru Kenyatta is getting, or maybe the votes they got in the mountain were not actual votes. So William Ruto might be understanding that. So he's now moving towards the Luhya nation. That is a serious threat for Musalia Mudavadi. So to do that, he has to be seen to be mobilizing mountain. Then he will mobilize them and say, okay, if you joke, Raila Kopale, Uhuru and his candidate. And that's why I'm not ruling out the possibility of the two working. They can work because of betrayal. I mean, Rigathi Gachagua feeling betrayed, so he supports Uhuru. Uhuru will then endorse someone else. Number three, in my view, is Mount Kenya factor in 2027. You see, if you look at the IBC figures, Mount Kenya has the numbers. If you look at William Ruto's percentage, the number of votes William Ruto got, majority of them were actually from the mountain. Mount Kenya voted for Ruto more than even Rift Valley. So He wants to ensure that those numbers, because if they are united, for example, if Uhuru were to agree to talk to Rigathi Gachagua, then it means those who are supporting Uhuru Kenyatta will rally around Rigathi Gachagua. And that will be a strong statement of unity. And nobody would attempt to ignore Mount Kenya. In fact, even in the last election, Raila Odinga really tried to win the mountain because you can't ignore Mount Kenya. Yeah, so he wants to make those votes of the mountain count. Number 4, I'm also convinced that the reason why Rigathi Gachagua is trying to reach out to Uhuru Kenyatta is because he has now realized that it's very difficult to become the kingpin without the endorsement of Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta was the kingpin. I'm using that past tense so that I don't create confusion. So if Rigathi Gachagua wants that, Moses Kuria and the rest, it means Uhuru Kenyatta, as the previous holder, has to agree that this is my next success. So Rigathi Gachagua is trying to win the support of Uhuru Kenyatta so that Uhuru Kenyatta can actually endorse him as the Mount Kenya kingpin. If I continue reading this statement, you can clearly understand that Rigathi Gachagua is trying to say that he's actually the kingpin of the mountain. He's trying to say that is the kingpin. Of course, nobody asked him that, but he's also suggesting that is the kingpin of the mountain. And lastly, I'm 100% sure that Rigathi Gachagua strategically is asking Raila Odinga to actually rescue him from William Ruto's humiliation. William Ruto is going to humiliate Rigathi Gachagua. And Rigathi Gachagua is going to be a laughingstock. That's the truth. So he's now trying to reach out to Raila Odinga, to Uhuru Kenyatta, and Uhuru Kenyatta will tell him, let's Raila. Then William Ruto will figure out, okay, if that's the direction, no, I'm making a break, we can work together. But why do I strongly believe that all those efforts are not going to succeed? Uhuru Kenyatta is not going to agree to talk with Rigathi Gachagua. Number 1 is because of the attacks and negative campaigns which were actually engineered by none other than Rigathi Gachagua against the Kenyatta family. You see, even after defeating the Kenyatta family, the government still went and withdrew their security, including Mama Ngina. You remember the son had the issues with the licenses when he was raided. They've been accused of grabbing Mau land at a personal level. Uhuru Kenyatta is a prince. He's currently living in Dubai. He doesn't care about whatever is happening in the Republic of Kenya. But the truth is, because of the way Rigathi Gachagua treated Uhuru Kenyatta, I am 100% sure, 100%, that Uhuru is not going to be involved. Number 2, Jubilee Party politics. You know, after the last election, William Ruto embarked on hostile takeover of Jubilee Party. As much as he defeated Uhuru Kenyatta would not have been comfortable losing his party. So we will definitely place a demand on Rigathi Gachagua if they were to make that. I want my party back. But that party is being grabbed by William Ruto, not even Rigathi Gachagua. And the idea behind grabbing that party is because William Ruto doesn't want another political party to emerge in the matter. If Jubilee was strong, then Rigathi Gachagua would work and strengthen it from the background so that if things go south the other side, then he can fall back to it. And William Ruto understands that. He's blocking that. But Uhuru Kenyatta is keen on having and protecting his party. And he has made it very clear that he's going to fight for that party. The other reason why Uhuru Kenyatta is not going to allow any talk with Rigathi Gachagua is because of the raid that took place at their farm, private farm in Ruiru. Who was behind that raid? Over 100% of Kenyans know that the person who was responsible was Rigathi Gachagua, Moses Kuria, Kimani Ichung'wah. He's not going to forgive those guys. You can take that to the bank. And of course, the other reason, number 4, why Uhuru is not going to accept is because of Uhuru Kenyatta's relationship with Raila Odinga. Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila's bond are tight. Uhuru Kenyatta recognized Raila Odinga as his leader. In Rigathi Gachagua's statement, he's making it very clear that he's not going to allow Ruto to work with Raila. But what if that would be the condition? Uhuru Kenyatta is going to put to him that for me to work with you, for me to have dialogue with you, Raila must be on the table. Number 5, in my view, is, and this is the other reason why Rigathi will not have dialogue with Uhuru, is because of the Uhuru-Ruto rivalry. These guys are going to revenge. You see, Ruto believes that Ruto defeated him. Ruto also believed that he has defeated Uhuru Kenyatta and it was a sweet revenge. Uhuru is also waiting for Ruto to serve him his revenge. And if Rigathi is reaching out to Uhuru because of Ruto, then those guys can't unite. And lastly, and this is the reality, is that Uhuru Kenyatta is now gaining ground in the mountain. Those who voted for Kenya Kwanza in the mountain are actually regretting why they voted for Kenya Kwanza in the first place. And that's something which is not sitting well with Ruto. And of course, Rigathi Gachagua also understands that Uhuru Kenyatta is gaining ground. And because Uhuru Kenyatta is gaining ground, the effect is that Rigathi wants a share of Uhuru Kenyatta's support base. Remember, at the beginning, I said that Uhuru Kenyatta was going to be William Ruto's biggest headache. And of course, now it's also going to be Rigathi Gachagua's biggest headache in the mountain. Because Uhuru Kenyatta has the money. If he decides to finance, you see, even the Azimio demos, the biggest fear Kenya Kwanza had was that Uhuru Kenyatta was financing them. Uhuru Kenyatta has the money to finance it. In the mountain, if Uhuru Kenyatta were to now finally decide to finance, because if you listen to most of the former MPs, they believe that Uhuru Kenyatta really did not fund them. If Uhuru Kenyatta wanted to start bankrolling, for example, let's say Maina Njenga, the way he was alleged, that's a big trouble for Rigathi Gachagua. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.